All right, we're on Zavim Parakeh Mishnah Gimel. Third Mishnah in the 5th chapter of Masachet Zavim. I have to say, this Mishnah is somewhat, there's like a tremendous amount of commentary in the Kahati. The language is somewhat confusing. So we're going to actually learn it in the simplest way that I can do and still understand the language of the Mishnah. We're not going to go into it deeper. This is Mishnah Yomit, and I encourage you, of course, as always, to learn it in a deeper way. Mishnah says, because they said, meaning means we're obviously hearkening back to something we had before. So what Bibnei Sha'amru? So the Bartanur is Kolomar, meaning Bibnei Ma'amru. Why do we say Ha'ochlim ve'amashkim ve'amadaf milimata? This is what we learned in the last Mishnah. I can go show you, but this is what it says: food and drink. Tumat Madaf. Madaf is anything that's not Tumat Mishkav. So like a cup of coffee or a cell phone. Those are Tumat Madaf or whatever. So all of those things, milemata tachat mishkav, if they're under the mishkav, the chair of, or the mattress of the zav, they are tehorim. Why? Because they said the following rule. Why is anything that's under the zav, that's not a chair, that's not a seat, that's not a mattress, tahor? Because they said, kol nosei v'nisa al gabei mishkav, anything that's nosei, carried on, okay, carries, or nisa, are carried on. So if you're carrying the mishkav, or if you're carried on the zav, on the mishkav, on the mattress, or the seat cushion, or the whatever, is tahor. Chutz min adam, all those things are tahor except for a person. Meaning, Tumat Masa, as we've called it. Tumat Masa is a form of tumah, where you're lifting something, you're carrying something. I pick up my cup of coffee. Okay, so all those things, Tumat Masa, does not apply to the mishkav hazav. Tumat Masa only applies to chutz mi ha'adam. It applies to a human being. If a person carries ha'adam hanosei mishkav, if a person carries mishkav, nitma, he becomes tamei. Afa pisha lo nagabo, even though he didn't touch it. Velo hisito. So if I'm sitting here, right, and like I'm standing here, so I'm not touching it, and then I put a thing of tissues on my head, and then on top of that I put the cushion. Like I am nosei, I am carrying it, even though I am not touching it or moving it, and therefore I am tamei. The same thing is true if I put the mattress down, the mishkav hazav, and then I put on it what's called an eben misama, this huge rock, can't move it anymore. Then I sit on that rock, I can't move it, whatever. Nonetheless, Adam is nisa, is on the mishkav, and therefore that person is tamei. And the Mishnah turns to similar rules that are connected. Kol hanosei v'nisa al gabei nevela. Anyone who nosei carries or is nisa is carried on nevela. Nevela is dead animal. Tahor, you are tahor. Chutz min ha-meisit, unless of course you are meisit, unless you move it, unless you cause it to move. Rabbi Eliezer says af hanosei. Rabbi Eliezer says, some say the language is the girsa as v'hu hanosei. The Kati says that according to the Gemara, the language is, the Gemara says in Chulin, it's v'hu shed nosei, if he's carrying it. But you know, we'll say Rabbi Eliezer says af hanosei, even if you carry the nevela, a person who is nosei the nevela is tahor, even if you're not meisit. The Chachamim say no. Chutz min ha-meisit, you're only meaning there's no tumat masa in nevela. Rather, it's meisit if you move the nevela. The idea of carrying something and not moving it is pretty rare. Anyway, but these are the halacha categories the Mishnah stand is establishing. Now, this one is a little bit trickier. Kol hanosei v'nisa gabei ha-met. If you are carried on or carrying a met, a dead body or part of the dead body, you're tahor. Chutz min ha-ma'ahil. Except for if you are ma'ahil, meaning if you create a sense of ohel, or the body creates a sense of ohel on you. Now, how you would carry or be carried by a mate without ohel is very tricky. Chutz min ha-mesit, chutz min ha-ma'ahil, ve'adam bizman shu mesit. And a person, if he's moving the thing. So if you're ma'ahil or you're mesit, you're a big problem. But nosei v'nisa, there's no tumat masa on mate. Now, obviously, this is almost how this is possibly irrelevant. How can you carry something or be carried on something without the ability to either have ohel, to be standing over it or have it over you, or moving it or be mesit, and of course you're not touching it. So the Bartanur says it's a pretty nutty case. What is it? Efshar liot nosei v'nisa v'lo yahil. How could it be? Kagon aliyah mafseket. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he says the following. Let's say the mate is in a crawl space, and then or like aliyah. Let's say like the mate is above, and you have the floor, like so you pile, and you have like Like I'm below it, and on top of me, I've got a bunch of blankets. The blankets go straight up, so there's no interruption. And then the mate is in the aliyah, is in the loft, and the floor of the loft sags so that there's no interruption between. You can say me, person, a blanket, roof, and then dead person. So then you have that. In that case, you would have a case of that you are no say the maid, the body, the weight of the maid is on you, not touching you, and it's also not because you're in a separate room. Why? I don't know. Whatever. The whole idea is learning the idea of no say v'nisa of masa, how Tumat Masa works. But obviously you're going to be tamei in other ways as well. I hope this is clear as clear as I can make it. We'll stop here. Dedicate our learning to remembering my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Make it a great day.